Like the mother, after all these many years of working so hard to raise her children, today, the 13 years old daughter, 13 years old son, today comes to the mother and tells the mother, Mother, please take rest. You've done everything for us. You love us so much. I'm already grown up now. I'll take care of my siblings and I'll take care of you too. The mother is so touched, so moved, so proud of you to see that this is after all these many years of hardship. Today, the eldest daughter and the eldest son, they are so kindly, thoughtfully coming to tell the mother, to relieve the mother. And the mother is so relieved, so happy, so proud of her daughter, of her son. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are so happy and proud of you today. This part and happiness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they invoke their compassionate illumination minds to send for nectars, very sweeping lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies and beings yours instills in all happiness and cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings you yourself. And you're witnessing such a miraculous happening to us all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are free from suffering and the cause of suffering. Okay, even though it seems so superficial, it doesn't matter. Start from this superficiality. Eventually become very real and very intense and very spontaneous and very moving. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living, such a gracious community, intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send the nectars and very sweet lights towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies and beings yours washes away all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the dear sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle happening to us all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the viewing with such a gracious commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send for nectars and very sweeping lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars with the bodies beings yours stabilizes the happiness and the cause of the happiness that the beings are endowed with. And and you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the demon sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear sentient beings alike, leaving none aside. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living with such a courageous commitment, intensely having proud of you, the way the mother feels today, that to see that her eldest daughter, 13 years old, eldest son, 12 years old, they come to tell the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You love us so much. You have done everything for us. We're already grown up. I'll take care of all my siblings. I'm already grown up. Mother, please take rest. I'll take care of you also." The mother could not believe her eyes, her ears. She feels so proud of you today. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are so happy and proud of you today that this private happiness invoke their compassion omniscient minds to ascend from nectars very soothing life spirits in all human sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies of beings yours frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. You witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. They abide in this experience of the unconditional love, which underscores all the four immeasurables. This is the basis, this is the foundation, this is the most beautiful mind, which is the foundation for this incredibly precious treasure of the Bodhicitta, which will eventually take us to the full awakening of Buddhahood. So precious. With this smile, imagine that you are piercing through the eyes of each and every dear sentient being, giving them the assurance, have no fear, have no worry, I'm there to take care of you. To the extent that each one of them feels themselves so safe, so composed, so happy, so relieved. To the extent that they feel themselves so special in your eyes, so precious, amazing. Today, this is the most memorable day. With this spirit, with folded hands, let us make the commitment, the courageous commitment of Bodhicitta. I'll say this line, and we'll all say this line 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers and sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers and sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Abide in this courageous commitment of Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind that can possibly exist in this universe, most appealing mind that can possibly exist in this universe. Today, you are born. This Bodhicitta has taken birth in you. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean white moon disk, 1 inch or 2 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting at your heart. Wow, it's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. It's amazing. But how can you become Buddha? Of course, by removing the mental stains, remove the mental defilements. The Buddhahood is already there within myself, just to awaken this Buddha nature. How do you do that? By removing the mental stains. How do you remove that? How do you remove the mental stains? By resorting to the final antidote, which is also known as the liberating path, the wisdom of emptiness. What is the wisdom of emptiness? Okay, let us quickly retrieve the experience of emptiness, which we meditated upon as the third seal of the 4 seals. What are you doing? What is this? What are you seeing in front of you? The beautiful lotus flower, the beautiful rose flower. How do you see this? As objectively real or subjectively real? Like a dream, your mind is creating it, or objectively real, nothing to do with the mind, is so objectively there. Of course, the second way is so objectively real. This is known as self-grasping experience. Okay, now, look at the same flower through the electron microscope. What do you see now? I'm seeing billions of atoms. Okay, stay in this experience. You're seeing billions of atoms. 2 questions. What are you seeing? I'm seeing billions of atoms. These billions of atoms, they are the positive phenomena. So you're seeing the oscillate of the positive phenomena, which is the billions of atoms. Where's the flower? The flower disappears, it's empty. So this negative phenomena, negative meaning the phenomenon of negation. You are seeing the oscillate of the absence of the flower, emptiness of the flower, which is the phenomenon of negation. Of the 2 oscillates, with the help of the first oscillate, focus on the second oscillate, that the flower is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Although it may be very superficial, very shallow at the moment, it doesn't matter. Let us start from there. Stay in this experience that the flower disappears, that the flower is empty. Emptiness of the flower. Okay, this experience of the emptiness of the flower, slowly transform this into spotlessly clean white Vajra, thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the moon disk at your heart. Okay, now you have the set of Vajra moon. The moon symbolizing the convention of Bodhicitta, the altruistic intention, very compassionate altruistic intention to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. This is the most beautiful mind that can possibly exist in this universe. And Vajra symbolizes the ultimate Bodhicitta, also referred to as wisdom of emptiness, which is the most fearless mind in this universe. With these 2 things, guaranteed that you will attract all the happiness and it will cast aside all the fears of life. This is the greatest meaning for life. Don't forget that while you are bound to experience the greatest meaning for life, the greatest happiness, and the miseries become nil, don't forget all the dear sentient beings around you. They are suffering terribly while you are getting this safe heaven, while you are getting to the safe heaven of the 2 bodhicittas. All the dear sentient beings are suffering. Yes, of course. With intense love and affection towards all dear sentient beings, concern, love and affection to all sentient beings. This concern and love that you feel towards all sentient beings, invoke the Vajra moon that you have at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set of the Vajra moon with your mother at your heart, one set with your father at his heart, one set with each one of your family members, including your children. one with each one of these the beings here in Bodhicitta, the retreat, the Kibbutz Bodhicitta, Kibbutz Yagiham, and one with each one of the sentient beings in the Israel, the human beings, animals, insects, the spirits, the hummingbirds, hell beings, the celestial beings. One set with each one of the sentient beings in this world and in this entire universe. Now all sentient beings have this set of Russian moon is amazing. Wow, this is amazing. Don't forget that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are watching us like the way the children, when they are about to make the first public performance in their life. Your parents are watching us, your parents are watching the children. Likewise, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Yes, we are so fortunate. This is the most memorable day. Why not we invite all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to be guests, to be the witness to undertaking the ceremony of the aspiration to the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So it's just making the request to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to be guests and the witness. Along with all the sentient beings, let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay, if possible, sit on our right knees and turn to page 34. Let us wholeheartedly say the first stanza 3 times, page 34. So this stanza, so you can take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, the engaged Bodhisattva vow, whichever the Bodhisattva vows, on the basis of the just with the first stanza is fine. But what we're doing is a little bit more elaborate. The first stanza we use as a preliminary practice to prepare us to undergo this, the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And for that, the first stanza, we have to have the meanings well reflected. Page 34. Page 34. We have to have the meanings very well reflected. Meanings must flow, and experience, to the best you can, experience must also flow. The experience must be invoked. And initially it may be a little difficult. It doesn't matter. Try your best to let the words flow, the meanings flow, and experience invoked. And slowly it becomes real. Experience will really flow in you, and you just feel like crying at times. You just feel like crying. You become so emotional. It can move you into tears. This is how we should be doing. So with that in mind, reinforce the visualization. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, and all the dear sentient beings around you. And the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, imagine, say you as like a 5 years old girl or a 5 years old boy, and your parents, and then you are making the first public performance, and your parents are so proud of that, proud of you, and to give you moral support. That day, your parents just take leave from however important job, whatever important work that they have, they leave it aside to make sure that they come to attend your program, and amidst the public, amidst the audience, to wave at you, telling you that we are there to give you assurance, to give you moral support, and you feel so proud that your parents are watching you there. You're so happy, and the parents are so happy. They just there, just total focused attention, everything on you. So this is what all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are doing today. They are so happy. The only thing is that because of our negative karmas, we fail to see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, what they're actually doing. Actually, they're there with us. Actually, the way the parents they do, they're actually with us today. They're witnessing what we're doing today. So with this mind, the first line, because this is journey, extremely important journey, the most meaningful journey that we can possibly think of. The journey of going to awakening your Buddha nature, to extract the greatest meaning to your life, to become Buddha for the whole sentient beings. There is no other journey more important than this. Because this is a very noble journey, we need an incredibly great support. And the greatest the support that we can think of is the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. So the first line says, I go for refuge to the Triple Gem, to seek support of the Triple Gem, the Triple Gem. And then, because this is journey involves two things. One is that the road must be clear, and the vehicle which you're going to use should have enough fuel. So this road must be very clear. The road is none other than your mind. Your mind must be clear of the boulder, the trees and so forth, like the metal defilements. So the best way by which to remove the metal defilements is by confessing the negativities. So the second line says, I confess the negativities individually. And then number 3, while the road is very clear, the car should have enough fuel. Okay, tomorrow, without instruction, we're going to do this. You're getting it? So to make the most out of the performance. So the car should have enough fuel. And the best way by which to have to energize your body, your mind, with the fuel of the virtues is by rejoicing in the virtues of others, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all the beings in yourself. And once the road is clear, your car has enough fuel. Where are you going to go? What kind of journey you're going to undertake? The journey of Buddhahood. It says, I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, let's say this 3 times together, and all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are watching us, and all sentient beings are joining you, and you are leading this. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, the next 2 stanzas. First, you invoke Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be our witness, which we already did. And now the 2 stanzas. The first stanza is with the Buddhas, and the second stanza is for yourself. First stanza, the Buddhas meaning that how for example, the Buddha Shakyamuni, how this one young prince, he became a Buddha. How come that he's able to do that, so that he's able to benefit billions and billions and trillions of individual beings to his ultimate happiness? How come he is able to do that? So he's able to do that for 2 factors, for 2 reasons. One, initially, he generated very strong bodhicitta, motivation bodhicitta, wishing to making a very strong commitment, the wish to become Buddha for all sentient beings. 1. Number 2, to materialize the aspiration of this bodhicitta, he actually engaged in the bodhisattva activities, bodhisattva deeds, bodhisattva practices, such as 6 perfection, such as the 10 perfections. Okay, this is the first stanza. Second step pertains to yourself. If this is how he became so successfully, he became Buddha, and now becoming like a son to benefit all sentient beings, also become like him, also follow his footsteps by engaging in these 2 things. First, I will also generate a very strong motivation to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, the motivation bodhicitta. And number 2, to materialize the aspiration of this bodhicitta, I will also engage in the bodhisattva practices such as 6 perfections and the 10 perfections. Okay, let's say this 3 times wholeheartedly. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelled in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively follow the bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully engaged in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively follow the Bodhisattva practices. Okay, just feel the joy of having received as which Bodhisattva. We are so fortunate, so happy. Imagine what you've done affects the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Imagine that all these innumerable lifetimes, since time immemorial till now, we have never actually taken such Bodhisattva vows in the past lives. So now today, we are so lucky that we are doing this. So imagine what kind of feelings are going through in the minds of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So imagine your mother, after all these many years of receiving complaints from the school about the bad conduct, bad behavior in the school, always the complaints, the mother's always fed up with all these things, so sad. Well, she loves it so much. But today, the school principal comes to see the mother, and the mother again becoming very nervous. What my daughter, what my son might have done again, something bad thing. This time it's very different. The school principal comes with such a respectful gesture, smile, and they congratulated the mother, and the mother could not believe. Why you congratulate him? What for? And said that your daughter, your son is appointed as selected as the best student of the school for this year. Congratulations. She has changed a lot. She is now the incredibly great example for the rest of the students. Your son is the incredible example for the rest of the students. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations. The mother could not believe her eyes and could not believe her ears. This is what is happening to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas today. What you've done. They are so proud and so happy. Could not believe what you're doing today. They are so proud. So this pride and happiness all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel, invoke the Vajra moon that they have at their hearts in their full-fledged form to multiply infinite number of times. In mirage, like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that you visualize at your heart. They become non-dual, stabilized and blessed. Your Vajra moon has become non-dual, stabilized and blessed by the Vajra moon from the millions and trillions of Vajra moon from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Likewise, in mirage, rain shower, all the Vajra moons, replicas of Vajra moon from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas descend to merge with the one that you visualize to the heart of your mother, at the heart of your father, at the heart of each one of family members, including your children, each one of sentient beings here in the Kibbutz Bodhicitta, Kibbutz Yogiham, the human beings, the insects, the animals, the spirits, the hungry ghosts, hell beings, the celestial beings, each of the sentient beings in this world, each of the sentient beings in the entire universe. Amazing. This is the greatest gift that you're offering to all the eternal sentient beings, and today you have done it. And this is the greatest offering that you can think of to make to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and today you did it. And this is the greatest meaning of your life, and today you made this. You've given such a meaning, incredible meaning to your life, this great meaning of your life. You've extracted the greatest meaning out of life, and you have given the greatest meaning to your life, and today you did it. Amazing. Such a great moment. It never happened before in the past lives. Today we are so fortunate this is happening. This is all happening because of the kindness of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking them, Let us all, along with all demon sentient beings, let us stand up to make 3 prostrations, all birds and bodhisattvas.